He's running around like a teenager. He's been arrested. He tirelessly works for the people. I'd like you to welcome Piers Morgan!
Well, that is fantastic. Are you in good voice? Wow. And I want to tell you, I've got to speak loudly because people are overflowing beyond this edge of the square. And there's people in Hyde Park waiting for us. There's thousands waiting in Hyde Park. What this means is we've probably reached 100,000 people in London today.
Are you going to Hyde Park, Pascal?
We're on
Are
our
you
way
walking
to
to Hyde
get
Park?
you.
He said there's thousands of people
Now,
there
across
as
the
well.
country, since I was last here, I've had 2 arrests, I've been to 10 local rallies, and I just want to say on rest, we, the movement, our movement, defends to the end anybody arrested or victimised under the COVID laws, including health workers. And I want to thank the valiant people of Sheffield who resisted twice to prevent me getting arrested. The 3rd time the police came in numbers and horses and I was arrested. And what they did, they imposed a bail conditions that I wasn't allowed to demonstrate at any of these events anywhere in the United Kingdom until November. However, I turned up in Cardiff 3 days later and nothing happened. And then the Crown Prosecution Service phoned my solicitor, who's up here somewhere if I can see him. I want to cheer Richard, where is he? There he is! 3 cheers for Richard Barry, my solicitor. Yay! They phoned him up when he was on the train on the way to Sheffield to lift my bail conditions and said, don't worry, you don't need to come, we're lifting them now. There's no more conditions against Mr Corbyn doing anything. But it wasn't that we persuaded them, they listened to our numbers. And every time they attack us, we hit back twice. That's how we're going to win. And recently a Good Morning Britain poll, you better hiss at that, this is Piers Morgan, my opposite number. They had a poll that said 70% of the population oppose a second lockdown. Yet Boris comes up with more measures. We got new measures to stay at home till before 10 p.m, after 10 p.m, because the virus bites you harder after 10 o'clock. And also, we've got a lot of road closures, have you noticed them? Because the virus obeys one-way streets. So be careful where you go, you might meet one coming the other way. And we have Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, who would not even answer a request to allow us to be here. But Sadiq, we are here! Now what he wanted for London, he wants a full lockdown. Even though the illness rate in London is half that on the aeroplanes which are allowed to go to and from other countries, where the risk rate is 20, and in Westminster it's only 11. So he's really trying to close down the whole business of London. It makes no sense. And I think the key thing we've got to say to the people of Britain is there's no justification in any terms for the lockdowns and the COVID rules. They are a complete hoax. We know that lockdowns do not work. They did better in Sweden without a lockdown. We know that masking is mad. It's like asking a fly to not fly through a fence. It's stupid. And we know that distancing is daft. You didn't know I could make things rhyme, did you? Distancing is daft because actually you need to get close to people and hug them and all that to improve your immune system to feel happy. So I'm going to ask you now, and I've got to do it under COVID rules, you've got to do this only within your family group that's here. But you've got to hug against the COVID con now in your family group. Do it now! I see a lot of hugging going on, yes?
A lot of hugging going on.
You're not my family.
Yeah,
My family and social group here. So that's what you have to do. Your family and social
Worried about
group.
falling back.
Okay. Are you feeling happier now? And when it comes to tracking, another one of their measures, the only purpose of tracking is to up the numbers in the false positive nonsense tests. So do not track under any circumstances whatsoever. The whole thing is a psychological operation set up, monitored by the Behavioural Insight team, and I would say the anti-COVID measures are not to control COVID, they are to control you! Now, it's still actually a deadly virus. And if there isn't, how are people getting ill and dying? Well, one, they make up the numbers and they tell us lies. So my answer to that one is, take down the BBC!
Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC! Take down the BBC!
Well, we are going to visit the BBC on the way to Hyde Park after this. I don't think there's enough space there, but anyway, that's the general idea. Right, the other thing is, what people are getting in of, this can be a flu. There has been a flu around, which, you know, people get.
I had it before
And the
Christmas.
other thing is increased Wi-Fi and 5G and 4G. It's a proven fact, and this is World 5G Awareness Day today, by the way. It's a proven fact that 5G and 4G and 3G does lower your immune systems. So when they turn it up, you will get ill, or some of you will. And that will be used to increase the so-called COVID numbers. So we say, take down 5G!
Take down 5G! Take down 5G! Take down 5G! Take down 5G! Take down 5G! Take down 5G! Take down 5G!
Okay, and when we asked Boris Johnson and Bill Gates of hell for evidence under proper, respected scientific tests that this dangerous virus exists, they could not reply. Now, don't you think if they had evidence they would show it to us? Exactly. So our conclusion is that
There's Everin.
it's a hoax. Again, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. And they also claim that they found the virus, even though they haven't seen it, and even though the World Health Organization said not to look for it. And then they say they've even got a vaccine for it. A vaccine for something they can't see, or no one can see. They say, under some rules, they say, well, they've seen a genome sequence in a dish, and that could be the virus. Now that argument is bananas. And here's a banana. So I'm not going to go into the details of that, but that is the point.
Sorry, guys.
It's
Sorry.
not an honest scientific method. They are just warning you.
Fancy spot. Sorry, ladies. You two look alike, don't you? Fancy spotting you.
Hello!
Sorry. Oh, lovely to see you. Fancy spotting.
spotting you in the
Yeah,
crowd.
well, man.
Oh, you're right, you're right. Say hello to the camera. Oh,
We're on YouTube.
say hello. I'll catch you later. You going to Hyde Park? Yeah, catch you later.
And we say, because it's able to make money and control us, we say, stop all vax programs now. And when we say these things, that when we speak these truths, we're often told we're conspiracy theories. I will say a conspiracy theory, that accusation, is the primal scream of liars. The primal scream of liars. And we know as a fact that yesterday's conspiracy theory is today's truth.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this psyop, this world psyop now, I will say that never in the history of the world has such a great hoax been foisted on so many in the interest of so
It's
few.
incredible. It's incredible, isn't it? It's a great plan, actually.
I think Boris ought to learn.
They've got every corner flipping
Gates,
covered.
Zuckerberg and Bezos, their value in the last few months has increased by £150 billion.
What?
Which is 20 quid for every man, woman and child in the world.
Do they run Microsoft?
On their own.
Facebook.
What is it about? Well, Sandy has told you, it's to build an evil technocracy. Boris isn't doing it for nothing, and he's not doing it for you, he's doing it against you.
Yeah, puppy.
Now then, what is to be done? We've got to have a massive campaign of explanation so the public can make MPs accountable, or the system is going to be faced now with a choice. Either it becomes accountable or it will fall and we will knock it over. As we speak, most members of Parliament are fools clamouring for an experimental vaccination for something which is just a hoax. We must stop them. We must resist contagion fear, which is the root of their propaganda. We have to now think in your village, in your town, in your city. We've got to set up our movement action groups. And those action groups will resist all the COVID impositions. And they will support all those victimised and made jobless and lost wages by the COVID con. We have to hit back against any of their attacks. One hit, two hits back. We've got to also build an alternative media. Which is not just take down the BBC, it's build your own medias in your villages, in your towns, and nationally. Give everything you can to help build an alternative media to defeat these liars. And I have here a little book from George Orwell called 1984. If you haven't read it, read it. George Orwell said, it's sold out, is it? Yes, many times. In a society based on lies, speaking the truth is a revolutionary act. So to end, we know it's our movement that saves lives. Boris's games are losing lives and it's causing illness. So a few chants. Start off with no more lockdowns, save lives. No more lockdowns, save lives. No more lockdowns, save lives. No more lockdowns, save lives.
No more lockdowns. Save lives.
Going on, isn't it? It's amazing. Yeah. Set them going and they just go. Right, next one. End masks and tracks, save lives. 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 And end all COVID vax, save lives. You're not getting bored, are you? End all COVID vax, save lives.
End all COVID vax, save lives.
End all COVID vax, save lives. And the almost last one, obviously.
We don't want the little
down
prick.
5G, save lives. Okay. Take down 5G, save lives. Take down 5G, save lives. Take down 5G, save lives. And the end, as George Orwell said, there is a choice before us between tyranny and freedom, and we choose freedom!
So I don't want to be a man who gets on anyone's nerves. In working with the police, we've just been informed to tell you guys that you are to social distance where you can. We still parameters of the law. So please, take instruction of social distancing within the crowd. It shows our cooperation. Thank you.
Like a spirit to move anywhere you like.
Let's continue the fun.
Yeah, I know.
What's in English?
This
What's
man
in English? This is
probably
freedom.
needs
What's
no
in
welcome.
Same thing. Same thing,
Yeah.
So I remember when I was a young man and I saw this man on the Terry Wogan show. At the time he was a BBC presenter, a footballer, and I did think, wow, this man's a little strange, and now he's coming on a TV show and saying such
David Icke
things.
coming on.
Many years later, this man is still saying the same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Right.
who reach celebrity status sell themselves out. This man has maintained a
Run out of time
stance
soon.
throughout. Let's give some respect to a man of truth,
Oh, it's gonna get
Mr.
loud.
David Icke.
To think that people used to laugh at me in the street once. Speak your truth and the world comes to you.
Thank you.
Whoa, what a sight! I have dreamed of moments like this so many times and despaired here and there that they would ever come, and here it is. Humanity awakens! No, it's not the majority yet, nor even nearly so. But the momentum has begun, and the spirit of this place must sweep across the world if we are to stop Orwell's boot stamping on the human face forever. We face a big challenge, and it will require enormous courage unquenchable determination and fortitude. But we will not crumble. We will not fail. The consequences for ourselves, our children, and the human family are unthinkable. We cannot fail. We have come here today to put on public display our individual and collective self-respect. Self-respect is that which has broken every tyranny in human history. For self-respect always triggers the power of no. We will not hand control of our lives and our children's lives to people like the UK Health Secretary, Matt Hancock. A man who, if his brains were gunpowder, they would not blow his hat off. Oh, my brain's about to explode. Here he goes. Hancock and Johnson, Whitty and Valance, Fauci and Burks, the fascist Daniel Andrews, Premier of Victoria, or what my brother Paul calls 40 Watters. The light may be on, but it ain't very bright. Where is the self-respect in giving our lives to such people and doing whatever they tell us? Enough, no more. And we are together in the most amazing way today, because we don't need to pick sides, we don't need to fight, we don't need any more division and conflict. We just need to come together, put down the irrelevant fault lines that divide us, and join together as we are today in a demand for freedom for the entire human family, not one excluded. Before us today is every race, every colour, every creed, culture and sexuality. We may not agree on the fine detail of life, but that's good. What a boring world it would be if we did. But we are united, putting down the fault lines of irrelevant labels to say we are freedom and will accept nothing less. And I say to the police officers here and around the country, around the world, I feel no animosity to you. You are trapped by the psychopaths into enforcing fascism for the psychopaths. Fascism that your children, your families, and you will have to live the rest of their lives within. But there is another choice. Police officers, military personnel of the world. And that is to cease to enforce fascism for the psychopaths and to instead enforce freedom by protecting the people from psychopaths. We stand amidst extraordinary, almost unimaginable deceit. A deceit that includes a fake test producing fake cases to produce fake excuses for real fascism. A test which its inventor said should not be used for what it is being used for. A deceit that includes the mandatory wearing of masks on the excuse of its protection of our health, when it is going to destroy the health of vast numbers of people with suppression of oxygen, breathing in carbon dioxide, bacteria, mold in the mask. The very opposite of what they claim. And what will they say when that starts to unfold? People are dying or suffering from COVID-19. Mask 19, more like it. And the mask is there to be a symbol of oppression, of submission, a symbol of being silenced, a symbol of the destruction, deletion of individuality, and an exercise in mass global dehumanization. People of the world, if you want to express your freedom in the face of fascism, take your bloody mask off! And the deceit is so premeditated, so long planned, so calculated, so cold and so callous, that we must not rest until those responsible, including those down the street, until those responsible are before a Nuremberg-type trial for crimes against humanity. What is happening in current events is only possible because of a long-planned, long in the unfolding war on the human psyche. And the foundation of that war is to persuade billions of people that they are just little me with no power. For the psychopaths know that a little me mentality, a little me self-identity will by cause and effect lead individually and collectively to a little me life experience. So, number one in building the new today and the new tomorrow. No more little me, be gone with you! We are unique expressions of all that is, has been and ever can be, having a brief experience called human. People, human family across the world, awaken to who you really are. Remember who you really are, and it's not what they have been telling you. The late, great American comedian Bill Hicks said this: all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. We're all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There's no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we are the imagination of ourselves. And what the human family has done is allow the psychopaths to hijack our imagination of ourselves. And we need to take it back. The psychopaths have kept from us a sparkling truth which opens all doors and all gateways, that this world is but a dream, and the dream is the dreamer, and the dreamer is the dream. They are indivisible. What we believe, we perceive, and what we perceive, we experience. And it's time to take our minds back from the psychopaths, take our perceptions back from them, and to dream another dream. A dream in which the few controlling the many plays no part. Bill Hicks used to finish his